Welcome to the DLE Own It podcast. I'm Morgan Meyer, intern at the Dually Leadership Experience and undergraduate at Syracuse University. The terrific energy and participation since the DLE Breakfast Club went virtual has triggered a new podcast series, the 10-Minute Skill Swap. By asking the dozens of participants of our Friday morning breakfast club to identify one skill they could share and one they needed, we discovered a treasure: DLE subject matter experts. With their help, the 10-minute skill swap zeroes in on one skill that can give you a boost, personally or professionally, and provides actionable tips and coaching from a subject matter expert. In this first installment, DLE Advisory Board member Michelle Lopez, also the executive director of the Berkshire Immigrant Center in Pittsfield, Mass., pairs from years of experience in conducting interviews and being interviewed, a list of do's and don'ts for virtual and live interviews. Regardless of the industry you're in, you'll be more prepared and confident for your next interview with Michelle's help.
All right, so I'm here to give some interview do's and don'ts and some tips, whether you're interviewing virtually or in person. I'm breaking this down in 3 different stages: the before interview, during the interview, and after the interview. So before you go into your interview, you must do as much research as possible. You should be looking at the company or organization's mission and vision statements. Go through their website, pick out keywords that they're using over and over, and integrate them into your vocabulary for your interview. Make sure that you're reading people's bios. Figure out who the people are who are going to be interviewing you. Their bios are up on their website for a reason, and that's so that you can figure out what their backgrounds are and where maybe you can fit into the company or organization's culture. Make sure that you print out extra resumes or send your resume again in the chat box so that people know that you're thinking of them and they have your resume handy during the interview process. I like to pick out a special outfit item before my interviews. Something that I always wear is a pin that has the American and Cuban flag on it that I received at the U.S. Embassy in Havana when I was working down there as a study abroad director. Some people may wear a pin from the university they graduated from, and people may pick up on that, and it could create a talking point. Wear something that may stick out in the memory of the people who are interviewing you. During the interview, make sure that you're addressing everybody by name. Make sure that you're looking them in the eye. It's really important to remember people's names so that they know that you are good at details and remembering who people are and what their titles are and how you would be working with them if you were to get the position. Make sure that it's visible that you're taking notes. People want to see, again, that you're detail-oriented, that you're doing your homework, that you're going to be going back to your notes after the interview to see if you have any follow-up questions. Always take a breath and pause before answering. People tend to go out on tangents in the middle of telling their stories. They forget what the initial question was. And make sure that you're not faking it. The old phrase, fake it before you make it, does not apply to interviews. We had someone who, at a previous position, claimed that they were an expert in Excel. And when a colleague of mine asked them about their favorite tool to use in Excel, they said the sort button. Now, someone who's an expert in Excel would probably say creating pivot tables, something that's a little bit more complicated. So make sure that everything that is on your resume and in your cover letter is completely true. Make sure that you have intelligent follow-up questions ready. Maybe ask someone what their favorite management style is, or if you're going to be managing others, what types of communication or management style the people like who may be working underneath you. Ask them what they see in the future of the company or organization, and how, if you were to receive the position, you can help them move forward in their future vision. The aftermath. Always send thank you notes or emails, and not just to the people who interviewed you, but also to the people that you have on your list of references. I always try and contact my reference list after I know they've been contacted by the people who were interviewing me, because they can give great insight on how the people perceived you during your interview. You're probably going to want to use them again in the future if you are job hunting after your position. So please make sure that you're thanking everybody so that they continue to think highly of you and recommend you for future jobs. Those are all of my tips.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thanks,
That was
Mike.
great.
It's a little weird.
I know it was weird. Like you were just no one's on the line. You're just reading it off, but it sounds
Right.
perfect. And thank you for allowing us to publish this as well.
Thanks. And so Linda, before we said that we were going to record this, asked me to like write up a blurb. Do you know if she still wants me to do that? If not, I can just like email and ask.
Can you check with her to make sure? I'm not sure on that.
No
But I'm pretty
problem.
sure she probably wants some little background writing to it.
No worries.
All right, Michelle. Well, thank
All right.
you. Have a good
Thanks.
weekend.
Enjoy your weekend, Marcus. I hope you get
I
to
will.
rest soon.
I hope so too. All right.
Okay.
Bye
Talk
bye.
soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Stay current on all the DLE's great programming offered at no charge by reading our newsletter, The Hub. You can subscribe to The Hub and join our extraordinary community of motivated, supportive young professionals and experienced leaders at dle.dooley.com.